Okay, am I live? Wait. "26 people are here. Wow. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know, guys, if you guys can hear me, okay? And hello, everybody. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay. So before I'm going to start and before I put Alu here on my panel, guys, I want you to behave. Okay, I'm gonna be a teacher today, so please be respectful, guys, and I don't want you trolling anyone here. I'm gonna do an interview with Alo one-on-one. You guys can join us, you can ask him a questions, but please don't troll anyone here. We are here to ask him, not trolling anyone here, okay? Okay. Hey, Andy, please. Okay. Hey, Alo. Alo the Winter. Hi. Can you hear me?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I am fine. How about you? I was wondering how you pronounce your name. Maybe we can get that out of
Oh,
the way first. That's Reynalyn, and the last name was Chainga. Is that right?
this is the first that I want you to do here. I want you to pronounce my family name right. Say it again.
Okay, yeah.
Hainga.
Ahinga.
Yes, it is
It's like I
Hainga.
will hang you, like hang, hang, Hainga. Okay, I got that right. That's good. Because I thought it would be pronounced like Chenga, like that game with the small wooden bricks where you pull out the bricks beneath it on like to build a tower, and then you place it on top of it. But I totally butchered that one. But it's not going to be the last word that I will mispronounce today. And I would just like to tell your moderators, I really would like to remind them to keep an eye on a certain vlogger in there. His name is Bobsy. The guy has been harassing me since a couple of years now. He follows me around all the time, and he is calling me in my house and making all kinds of threats. And Bobsy, if you hear this, that is not okay. And I'm not saying you should time him out or something, but I would just like your moderators to keep an eye on him, because he has a little bit. How should I say? He's a little bit a violent type. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
You're funny, Alo. And okay, hey, to all my moderator, please watch that guy. And not just only him, but of course, if you guys were gonna be disrespectful to this live, my moderator are ready to block you guys. I don't really want to block anyone, but if you're gonna cause trouble here, I don't want stress, okay? I just want to do an interview, and please, you guys are all welcome to join us, but please be respectful, okay? So, Alo, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Can you pronounce my
And do I
family
come in?
name?
Hang on a second? Do I come in loud and clear? Because I can hear you loud and
Yes,
clear. Do the guys in the
very.
chat also hear us loud and clear? You already got 44 people watching. That's a good number.
Yes, it is a good number. So, are you guys can hear us properly? Okay, I guess they can. I guess they can hear us properly. So, guys, I cannot say hi to each of you it because we're going to start now doing an interview to Alo. But if I'm gonna like reading all the comment, it's gonna be like it's gonna take time. So but I just want to let you know, guys, that you guys are all welcome to ask questions with Alo and to me, but we're gonna focus to Alo this time. So Alo, pronounce my name before we're going to start. Pronounce my funny
Reynalyn,
name.
Reynalyn Hainga.
Okay, correct. Okay, you
Okay,
pronounce
good.
it
Yeah, that's
right.
passing grade.
It's not Jinga. Okay. So hey, okay, so this is my first questions. When and why did you start trolling? I mean, when did you start a troll channel, and why did you do that?
Um, to answer the first part of the question, that is the easiest part. I came on the YouTube scene at the end of 2016. So it's been almost 6.5, 7 years now. And why did I do that? Well, like most of you guys out there listening to this right now, I was a guy who had a channel on YouTube, but I never really commented. I watched all kinds of vlogs, and especially in this community, there were several vloggers who started to do live streams. And I remember one of these guys was Says Style with his channel Says, and he started a show called Phil Pat Radio. So he is basically interviewing other vloggers in the Philippines. And what happened is I watched that and I found it very entertaining. And then I reached out to a certain vlogger with the name It Takes Two Philippines, also known as Dave Phelps. And I reached out to him and told him, hey, you know what? I think these vloggers should not only interview other vloggers, with the big channels. I think we might come together and give micro channels, or, the regular commenter in the comment section a voice as well, because I think that they have an interesting story to tell as well. And he found it a good idea, and we started a show called Kwentong Baliw, where we had guests on, and we would do skits, and we will talk about all kinds of funny, humorous stuff. But everything we did on there was somehow directly or indirectly related to the Philippines YouTube community. And some of these guys are actually in the chat right now. I want to say hello to them as well. And after that live stream show, Kwentong Baliw, we started a channel called Riff Raff Radio. And Riff Raff Radio was basically a mix of people from all walks of life, from every corner of the world, but mostly US servicemen, people who served in the Navy, in the military, in the Army, and they all had a link to the Philippines, whether their wives were from there, whether they served in being based in the Philippines, and the format was mostly about humor and having a good time and fun. But there was an important component in it, and that was something that I would call exposing certain bloggers in this community who use their social media platform to scam people, or they propagate a certain type of um, exploitation of women and children in the Philippines. And what we would do then is we would dig up information about them, make public information about these vloggers available, like court orders or outstanding warrant of arrests, and so on and so forth. So, um, you used the word trolling. Look, there are two sides to look at that, okay? Because for some people what we do is trolling. They often would say, they are just trolls. And the reason why they do that, especially the bigger channel, is because they don't like our opinion about them. Of course, they don't want to be exposed, right? They will dismiss us and say, that guy is just a troll. And so we decided, you know what? Let's just own it, and if you want to call us a troll, then so be it. It doesn't really get under our skin, and so we somehow thought being called a troll by people who actually use social media as a way to scam and exploit people is in my view a good thing. And over the course of the next few days and weeks, people will or might come to you and say, why did you have that troll out of the winter on your channel? Or why are you letting a guy like, for instance, Andy Omar make comments in your comment section? Because those guys are the bad ones. They are the trolls. And troll here in this context means just dismiss them, because everything they say, everything they do, everything that comes out of their mouth is all pure lies, and they just want to get a rise out of you, and so on and so forth. I admit, on Riff Raff Radio, for instance, we tried to get a rise out of people. And of course, that was just banter. But often, we would also tackle the serious issues where we would tell the community, pay attention to this vlogger or that vlogger, because that vlogger or this vlogger is basically a criminal. What this person is doing online is a scam, whether it is e-begging, whether it is the exploitation of women and children in the Philippines. And there were many, many, many cases. And that was basically the content of our channel. So to make a short story even longer,
Okay, it's okay. It's
trolling is
okay.
not
We want to hear you.
trolling is not trolling is not a negative thing, in my opinion. The textbook definition by trolling, by the way, is, if you look it up on Google, is a person who just tries to get a rise out of somebody, who tries to trigger an emotional response from someone. But in our case, it goes a lot farther than that. Um, in this context, I would like to ask you, Reynalyn, um,
Sure.
have you been contacted by whoever it might be? You don't need to name anyone, in the background, by subs or by people who try to influence you in some ways to not have me on your channel. Is that something that has happened? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
No,
If you
I'm
may.
open to anyone. I'm open to anyone. I'm not, no one stopped me telling that, oh, you shouldn't have her, have him on your channel. And, I mean, I'm open,
Mhm.
I'm fine listening to other, other opinion. We are here to respect. But hey, I just want to ask you more. Like, you are against to, you want to expose other other people that who you think that they are scamming or bigging. So instead that going aftering their channel, how about you make your own vlogs that, if you think that what they said are not good, how about you try to give some tips to other viewers so that they will know that other, the other videos that, how to say it, like, instead that trolling or aftering other channel, why you just don't make a videos that giving tips so that other people will not be scammed?
Yeah.
did
Look,
it did I s- did
the,
I
I understand what you are saying.
Okay.
Um, my role, together with the guys that I refer to as co-hosts, was always about giving people another angle of what they see on those people's channel. I give you an example, for instance, and by the way, you deserve credit for the fact that you have me on here. I really appreciate that, because you
I'm
had
open to
other guests
anyone.
you had other guests on just recently, and I believe they were not willing to do an open live chat because they somehow feared that they would be trolled, as they call it, in the live chat. And we don't do things like that. We are very open. We are always ready to have a discussion, a debate with whoever it is out there. So, to get back to the point here, um, if somebody uses his channel for a scam. And I give you an example. There are people out there, this became quite the trend in the last few years. They would go to the Philippines and then they would say, please send me money. I'm going to help poor people. please help me so I can help them. And then they would show street kids, or they would go to public schools, and then they would claim, okay, I'm going to help these poor street kids. I'm going to buy school supplies and backpacks and other material, and I would give it to them. And that's actually a very effective way for people, especially in Western countries, to feel somehow kawawa, to the people in that they see. Oh, kawawa sila, and then they feel like, okay, I want to send money. And what happens is, let's say, for the just for as an example, that person would get maybe $1,000. Okay, $1,000. And usually people like me and others would think, out of that $1,000, at least 80% should go to the kids, to the supplies, to help them out, because that's what they say, that they are going to do that. But as a matter of fact, they would only use maybe 10% of that amount, maybe $100. They would buy cheap, inferior material, give it to the kids, vlog about it, and then keep the rest of $900 to live overseas and go into bars, buy cigarettes, buy alcohol, and just enjoy life with the money that was actually supposed to go to these kids. And then we have other examples. People like sexual predators, for instance, who are coming online and they are selling uh, online content, telling uh, mostly Western foreign men how to basically take advantage of Filipinas. And I give you an example. We had a guy on here, and I would like to get your opinion about that, Reynolin. We had a guy on here, and we have those sound bites, by the way, which we played up and down on different channels in the last few years. This is a person who basically claimed that the girls, for instance, in Manila, hear me out here, and I really want to get your view on that. This is a guy who said the girls in Manila, when they go around in Manila, in all these fancy malls, they see all these luxury goods, the bags, the jewelry. And that guy said, those girls, they know exactly that if they want these beautiful things, they need to have a foreigner boyfriend, because there's no other way than getting these things than having a foreigner boyfriend. And when somebody says something like that, it's insinuating, it means all the Pinays are gold diggers. All the Pinays, they're all just poor. All the Pinays want these nice things and need a foreigner boyfriend. Basically, going into prostitution. I mean, that it might be a little bit exaggerated, but I want to make a point here. So it is this generalization of all Pinays. They are just with these foreign boyfriends, and they would use the foreign boyfriend to get all these things. And you and I know that maraming mayaman sa Maynila yan eh. Hindi totoo yan eh. Diba? So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me, if that is because they have a responsibility. I am just a micro channel. I don't have that audience. But when a guy comes on the internet as 10,000, 15,000, 40,000 subs, and you have this Western audience, what is the message there? The message is, lahat yung mga Pinay are mahirap sila, walang pera sila, and then when they want to get the nice things, they need to get a foreign boyfriend. And the treatment is, they are all like prostitutes. They have no class, they are gold diggers, they only want the pera. And what we do is we talk about that. And they don't like that. Syempre, because they don't like being exposed. You know what they do? They tell their moderators, block everyone, get rid of everyone, and everyone who criticizes them is a loser. They don't discuss about the content of what they do. They just say, oh, he's a loser. Oh, he's a troll. Don't believe him. He just wants to make away, just wants to have arguments on here. Okay, don't listen to him. He's just a bad person. And you know what? They are all jealous because they want to come to the Philippines, but walang pera sila, mahirap sila, celoso. They don't wanna admit that they are so jealous of me because I am this YouTube god. I'm this superstar. They're only trolls, and all we do is we let the people out there decide and draw their own conclusion. You don't need to believe us. You don't need to listen to us. But I hope that everyone keeps an open mind and looks at the facts and listens to these people, because for me, that's exactly what they are doing. And last but not least, before I give you back the floor, and before you can answer the question, what you think about that Manila lady's statement that I just mentioned, if you look
Okay.
at their girlfriends, and they have shown their girlfriends and partners on their live streams, because often they know that if they would put a girl on there, it helps
Okay.
to drive up their views and subs. If you look at their girlfriends, they're almost, to tell you in Tagalog, parang baliw yung mga babae, like as if they are some sort of immature, as if they had some sort of a disability, or learning disorder, or and there is a pattern there. They cater to a certain type of clientele on here, and they're women. They are not the ones that are educated. The good women of the Philippines, somebody who probably works in for an insurance company or in a bank, or is college educated and stuff like that. It's always a certain type of women that they date, and then they get a very limited experience of what is actually going on in the Philippines, and they misjudge the culture and the country as a whole. And for me personally, I felt maybe I should go on here and create these channels together with my co-hosts, like-minded people, and say enough is enough. We want to use social media too, with our shows, to give people another opinion, because what they say is not the truth. A lot of their followers, by the way, think, he is an expat. He knows exactly what he is doing. It must be true because he is living there in the Philippines. I say what they offer you online through various online courses that they propagate is a very limited view of the Philippines and the people and so much more. Because to say that Filipinos are basically desperate to be with a foreigner because they want
Mm.
all the fancy things in the mall, it is stupid. It is a generalization. And in my opinion, it's almost borderline racist slash a bigoted view, and outright stupid. Now, I said enough. Back to you.
Okay. You know what? I make a note to my mind so that I can answer all your questions, But before that, hey, to all the one who complain about in the chat that my moderator is time out you guys or deleted your comment, it because you're being unrespectful. I trust all my moderator here, okay? So don't accuse with them. Be respectful so that you guys can be joining our live chat. Okay, back to your questions. Um Alo. So yeah, about that they said that all Filipino, if the Filipina, be with a foreigner because they are a gold digger, they just want a good things and everything. So me as a Filipina, as my opinion, okay, that's not true. Maybe, like I don't blame foreigner too if they accuse Filipina, it because there's a lot of people that get scammed. But hey, not all Filipino are gold digger, not all our Filipino are, they want to be with a old guy or in the foreigner it because they want nice things. That's not true. Okay. And about what you said earlier too, like some people, they don't want to be open live and they don't they just block someone. It because me as a vlogger, sometimes I don't want to deal troll. That's why I block them. And it because sometimes not all people can handle troll, and they prepare just to I'm not against to anyone. I'm here to respect other opinion, and this one is just my opinion. Okay, I'm not hate anyone, or I'm not on favor to this is my opinion only. Okay, so sometimes I handle troll, sometimes I love answering troll, but sometimes too, if I just want to, I don't want to be stressed, because handling troll sometimes, guys, it's very stressful. So maybe some of the blogger, they don't want troll it because they cannot handle it, or they just want peace, or they don't deserve to be, to give them like and attention. But you, Alo, are brave enough to answer all the troll, and you're ready for it, like so. Well, every
What do
vlogger
your
have
trolls
different.
usually? Can I ask you what you mentioned trolls on your channel and that they stress you out? Can you tell me a little bit what kind of trolls and what they usually try to do on your channel?
Well,
Uh,
some of them, like, they're just saying that they're just saying something like what usually I don't have a lot of trolls. Matt, what troll sometimes said, it's like about, well, they don't create like a story, like they're just saying that sex stuff or something like that, and sometimes being disrespectful. And sometimes I like some if they're accusing me with something, I would love to answer it. But sometimes if they're just like saying like sex stuff, and or just delete it, or being disrespectful.
so they're harassing you in some ways.
Ki- yeah, in some way, yeah.
Yeah,
But if
well,
they're
but you know,
accusing me like,
yeah. Please go ahead.
yeah, if they are just like accusing me with something, yeah, I would always love to answer it. But some people don't like it, it because some people think like all of us have a different like belief, right? So sometimes I don't blame them, but for my side, I always said like, if they're accusing me, I would love to answer it on live. But sometimes if they are just like harassing me, sexual thing, my moderator will gonna delete it.
Well, I think that I understand what you are saying here because look, I had no idea who you are, and I don't know the content of your. I was not familiar with the content of your channel, and of course, before this interview, I scrolled through your channel and took a look at some of the thumbnails, and then I remember you also sent me a couple of phone video calls where we were discussing about today's show, and I was able to very well imagine that there must be a lot of guys who send you these sexual um almost harassment, because look, there are a lot of guys out there when they see a younger girl online like you, all smiles, of course they have a hard time to control themselves. So maybe those guys maybe are the definition of the bad harassing kind of trolls. And we get those kinds of guys too, but again, I believe you understand the difference between um real trolls and people that are just getting dismissed as trolls because they talk about another or because they have another opinion on these issues. And I have checked your live chat right now, and I see a lot of guys in there who actually agree with what I say, and I believe that there are others who will totally dismiss what I just said. But I think social media is about having different opinions and the exchange of opinions and discussions. But often you see that, especially the bigger channels, and actually, um, I don't want to tiptoe here. You just had a guy on here, for instance, a couple of days ago. The guy that you interviewed a couple of days ago, he is the poster boy of those bloggers who are ultra sensitive about any disagreement whatsoever. And for instance, let me give you an example. I also used to conduct interviews with all kinds of people, and I had Andy Omar, and I know that you are familiar with Andy Omar and his channel, right? Because he mentioned to me that he has chatted with you a few times. Andy Omar, for instance, is a guy who says it like it is, and love him or hate him, I had him on the channel and gave him the opportunity to talk to my audience. I asked him a few questions, and to be honest, I like Andy Omar, but what happened is that certain people started to bash me for giving him a platform. First of all, Andy Omar doesn't need a platform. Andy Omar is well known in the community and has way more subs than I have. But I ask myself, why is it that these people cry foul and censor him and mute him and block him and let's not even talk about him when the points that Andy has raised various times are all valid. He has the right to have an opinion, just like everybody else in this community, and that is one probably another reason why I decided to come on here and do shows and live streams about all these topics. Other than that, I don't really engage too much with the Philippines YouTube community. But sometimes, from time to time, I think people like me and others like Andy, they have to step it up and say enough is enough and get on these live streams, because I know that it's not only us, it's many more. Because if you look at the feedback we get, there are many more people out there who actually see the BS and see through the lies and scams of certain bloggers. But I'm not surprised when you mentioned that you also get harassed. But let me ask you, what is it? Because you mentioned accusations. What do they accuse you of?
I
What is
forgot
it exactly?
already. Wait,
What do
that's
they
a
mention?
long time ago. Like there's a, but it's a very like a minor, I don't really have a troll, or it's just like a minor accusation that I handle with it. And usually it's just like harassment, like about sex stuff and so on. I don't really, if someone like accusing me, it's just like few times, then I answer it and it's gone. Sometimes before they ask me, I already answer with it. So I don't have much problem if it is comes to trolling. So can I ask you another question?
Yeah, I just saw that there is a guy in there, Popeye One. I have seen him around. He says, Lynn, ask Alo what he thinks of freedom of speech. Would you want to ask me that?
What?
What?
Which one?
There's a guy in there in the live chat. He says, Lynn, addressing you, telling
Yeah.
you, why don't you ask me what I think about freedom of speech? But you don't need to ask me that now, maybe later on. But that's a good question, actually. Don't you agree?
Okay, so answer that one. So there are, I mean, all the people in the chat are, um are welcome. If you saw a questions that you might want to answer, please answer with it, because sometimes it's hard for me to see the questions now.
I
It's
think
too much. I cannot
yeah,
choose.
it's too much for me too. This is I'm not used to do live streams, and I get easily very nervous. But look, I see that we have
I
like
am
80
nervous
people
too.
in the chat. We have 80 people in the chat. What was your highest number, by the way, when you did the chat? Did you have 80 the last time?
No. The highest I guess is around 50,
And
if
this is
I
a record
remember it
then.
correct. Yes. They are curious about you. I someone asked me about
Can you
this.
can you just
Oh, I
say
still
that again? Can you just say that again? Can you say something like, "My name is Reynalyn, and today we broke all records with All of the Winter. I had like 80 plus people in the chat, and it's a fantastic day for my channel and the Philippine Islands." Something like that, like a shout out to me and my channel. Can you do that? I would really appreciate that.
okay, how to do it. This is crazy. How I didn't get it all. I was overwhelmed. My God. But hey, I just wanna thank you. Like it because of you, there's like 82 people are here right now joining, and you make me blush. So hey, I don't know how to handle this life anymore. But hey, I just want to say thank you. And this one is really
Listen,
you bring
look,
some viewers here.
everybody after this show is going to tell you all of the winter and all these other guys, they're just assholes, but at least we are funny assholes and we are somehow charming assholes. And you got to admit that, right? Because we are all about laughter, all about having a good time, all about coming together. And, at the end of the day, it is really just about that. And it's not about controlling the narrative and censoring people and, threatening legal action on them, because that's what's going on right now and has been going on for many years right now, because Andy and I and others have been the subject to this kind of harassment where people try to silence us basically and censor us with statements such as we will take legal action. We had people going around asking for information about us. They were talking about private investigators. The list goes on and on and on. And look, we are not, if these guys are listening out there, and I believe they are, we are not scared. We will not let you intimidate us. We are ready for that, and we are prepared as well. And it's not only them who have the financial capacity to fight back. It is our guys too, and I think we are not doing anything bad here. I think everybody deserves to be heard, and that's it. I'm not trying to convince people that this or that guy is bad or should be harassed or something like that. I'm here to talk about my view and my opinion about the community, and then there are others. They have their own opinion about this, and at the end of the day, it is about laughter and having a good time. And I think we have a good chemistry here between you and me, which is rather unusual because I don't really get along with women in general. But that's a good thing. But maybe we can get into that in a few minutes. Back to you, Raynalyn.
Maybe we are meant to be. That's why there's a connection.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Kidding.
you might be right about that, but I get along with young men way better than with young with young ladies. But that is just we will save that another day.
I'm kidding. Wait. But anyway, you told me about the freedom of speech, right? We have a freedom of speech. I agree with that. But would you agree too that we should give respect to other vloggers too that who just want to be, just stay away to, to trouble and, just want to be safe and don't want stress. So you and the
Yeah.
community are agree about the freedom of speech, but for sure other people to believe that we should have a respect to others, right? If they don't want to accept any trolling with them, or so how's your opinion about that? Do you
I agree.
understand the way I ask? I'm so sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
absolutely understand. I absolutely understand. Um, Look, people who don't like their subs or people like me and Andy and others to have a different opinion about them, they would use that and cry foul. Oh, I have been harassed. They just want to harass me. They just want to create slanderous statements, fake gossip, and they want to take me down. They want to ruin my reputation. And they often say that. But actually, what we do, and I can only speak on behalf of the guys that I associate with on here, we really just try to point out the contradictions in their statements, and the, for instance, the Manila women example earlier, and it's just really an opinion. But what you mean is you're talking about the real trolling or the real harassment, and the examples that you gave earlier are perfect for that. I think that is not okay. I think having an opinion is good, but what is not okay when people will troll you and say horrible things about you in a sexually very demeaning manner, where they make comments about the way you look, when they make comments about, hey, I want to meet you, I'm in Davao on Friday, I would like to you to come to my hotel room. That these sexual insinuations, I think that is below the belt, and I would not do something like that. That for me is the real trolling, and that is really a form of harassment. And it is of course it is disgusting, but we don't condone that. What we do is, and that's different from that, we have an opinion. That's all there is. And I think most people actually realize that. Let me give you another example. We spoke about several of these vloggers, and I didn't name anyone, but most of the guys in the chat know exactly uh, the people that I talk about. Some of these guys use this as a tool to basically say, everybody who criticizes them is a loser or doesn't have a life, or is just jealous. And I'm absolutely convinced that if you will do an interview with Andy Omar, because he is actually the guy who has all the documents and all the infos and even a personal experience with some of these guys, he will be able to tell you exactly what happened, and he can give you a good overview about their statements. And he has been doing that for a very long time now. And I agree with what he does online, because he has been attacked for a very long time. And again, I think it's not justified. Those people who try to silence people like him, they are the real trolls. They are the real troublemakers, because they are afraid that people will use the same platform that these con artists use. They are afraid that people might see the truth. And some of them, they do this for money. Basically, it's their income, and they use it to go overseas. We have cases where there is an American guy, for instance. His name is Barry Lee Jordan. He actually goes around all over the Philippines, promises a lot of things to his girlfriends, and what he then does is he expects them to take him in, because he is basically homeless, has no money whatsoever, and promises them and pretends that he is a good guy, that he is interested in a real relationship. And then I've spoken to many of his ex girlfriends. He would use them to buy a motorcycle, he would use them to sign up for an internet connection. And after a few months, when he gets tired of it, when the girls realize this is a scammer, this is a bad person because he has a temper, then he throws them away. He verbally abuses them, and he also physically abuses them. Just a few days ago, he was seen in a bar, and there's video footage on that. You can go over to Alo Manotti's channel. That's ALOU Manotti, Manotti, where you see the footage where he pulls out the knife after a bartender tells him, please, can you pay me because you still owe me money, two chim beams and the coke. And he then pulls a knife and says, I don't care, I swear to God, because he mutes the live stream, and he uh, basically threatens the women. And then people reached out to us and said, hey, this person is known in the Cebu area. He is doing that all the time. And what we do is calling these people out. We take footage of it, we discuss it, we bring it to the attention of the wider community. And in my view, to tell you honestly, people like those guys, they are doing a great job, and I think they are doing an important job, because without them we would only hear one side of the story. Because let me tell you this, and this is pure speculation, 50, 60, or even more percent of all the vloggers, at least in this genre, are fucking scammers. They are liars. They are e-beggars. Many of them have outstanding warrant of arrests in their Western home country. They have something to hide, and they are clearly what I would call criminals and people who try to take advantage of the people in the Philippines. And that is clear, and we have the evidence for that, and they don't like it. Another example, I uploaded on my channel the court documents of one of these guys, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it. He went on a rant. He threatened people. He threatened sexual violence. He threatened physical violence. And he has done that for many, many different years. Now, people will say, and you might hear of that in a few days or probably even after this live stream here, people will say, yeah, but Ala de Winter and his cohorts, they made threats too. They also made threats. Well, that might be right. And of course it is, but at least we own our shit, because we always felt maybe it's a good way to fight fire with fire. We are just so much better at it. And then they cry foul and say, oh no, they threatened us. They said something bad about our family. Although people, and of course these vloggers, conveniently forget that they were the ones who actually threatened us way before we even brought up their family members. We have people in the live chat right now who were threatened. Popeye is such a guy. Others are in there. There were vloggers who came on the scene and said, find their wives, find their children on Facebook, harass the shit out of their families, go after them, destroy them. That's what they did. And then they cry foul when we or my guys contact them and say, listen, if this continues, we will come after you too. And then they say, oh, that is not fair. That is not good. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing this? And then they lie to their subs and say, Ala de Winter has contacted my family. Ala de Winter has harassed me. Ala de Winter is a bad guy. Ala de Winter shouldn't be on your panel. Ala de Winter will destroy your channel. Reynalyn, be careful. Andy Omar is a bad guy. Everyone who was there in the chat is a vile, evil man, and they will
No
try
one
to sweep
say
the blame.
that.
And so
Crazy. No
that's
one say
what they will
that.
tell you. That is what they will tell you. That is what they will tell you. And look, people are not stupid out there. They know that there are different sides to a story, and they will draw their own conclusion. So I ask them, what are you guys afraid of? And why are you hiding in a safe zone where we don't even have the opportunity to ask them questions? Those guys are the ones that you have to watch out for, because they love to come on channels such as yours and others where they can propagate their worldview in a safe zone where there is no differing opinion whatsoever, because everybody has to be blocked. Oh no, Andy Omar, we don't give him a chance to even ask a question, and everything he says is just not valid. And Ala de Winter is also a bad guy. Don't listen to them. Blah 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 blah. I am not attacking those guys personally. I am just saying, do you agree that Manila girls are like this? Filipinas are like that? Do you agree that with these statements or not? And let's have a discussion about it. That's what this is all about. Just what you and I did earlier on your live stream here. That's what this is. And it's not about
But
making negative comments to create fake gossip or drama or something like that. And if we are given a chance, then we would go on any show and answer any question that would be thrown at us, and we would handle it just fine, because we believe that people, again, are not stupid out there, and they will draw their own conclusion. But they never agree to something like that, and you know why? Because they are arrogant. Did you notice that certain people in the community, when they reach a certain number of views and subs, they they start to be very condescending. Oh, I'm not talking to one of these micro channels. Oh, these guys, they have just small channels. Ah, it's just a troll. It's just a Johnny come lately. That's a
but
term that I hear often. That is what happens there. And they believe that because they have a few more subs than us, or maybe a lot more subs than us, that they are some sort of a big shot, that they are some sort of semi celebrity, because they think that because they have like a certain amount of subs, that it really gets in their head. They start to think that they are somebody, and actually when you look at them, they are really not. They are just like a regular Joe, like people, like everyone in here in the chat right now. It's just like you just because you have a channel on YouTube doesn't make you some sort of a messiah or something. But look, they love to be praised. They love to be getting compliments and be praised by their followers. Sometimes it's I
But
when I read through the comments on some of these channels, I feel like, wow, what is this? It's kind of like a semi-religious gathering of people listening to their guru about giving tips and advice about dating and about the Filipino culture. And I know for a fact that what they say is a very limited view of the Philippines when it comes to women, when it comes to the culture, when it comes to politics, the economy, you name it, everything. But they are worshipped by sometimes tens of thousands of people who think that they are it, fucking Jesus Christ of the Philippines YouTube community, and they are really not. These are guys who in their 50s and older. They live with their mom. They never really had a girlfriend. They look like, I asked one of the Filipinos on this other channel and said, do you think that is a good looking guy? What comes to your head when you see it? And they say, parang tae. These are complete jokes. And to tell you honestly, to make fun of that is kind of almost emotionally rewarding. It is for us, it's also a form of entertainment, because look, we are not bitter about anything, and we are definitely not jealous about anything. That's
okay.
this uh that's this catch all, uh kill their statement, argument, or point that they always say, ah, they're just jealous, ah, they're just broke, ah, they wish they had a girlfriend like mine, ah, they have no money, and so on and so forth. Just bullshit. It's bullshit. Come on, guys. uh, and this is to the other guys. If you are really convinced that people are going to side with you, have a debate. But they would just kill it by saying, no, we're not going to give them any platform, we're not going to even talk to them, as if you have to ask for an audience with the Pope. They think that they are it, the royal family of YouTube, and it's just not like that. Most of them are, to be honest with you, and I want to be as diplomatic as possible as I possibly can. They're a bunch of fucking losers. They're a bunch of losers and lowlifes. That's what they are. Sorry to say.
Yeah, but hey, like you have your own channel. How about you just don't go to another channel? If they block you, it's okay. You can just do you can just do something to your channel. Like if you wanna, you can do whatever you want to your channel, and they can do whatever they want to your channel. And for sure,
Exactly. Yeah.
maybe how about we just let the viewers decide? Because if you think that they're gonna give the viewers a wrong information, there's a lot of vloggers right now that who give a good or the right, for sure, you know uh, if they watch other vloggers, for sure they watch other vloggers too, and they can decide who's telling the truth. A lot of vloggers now give a good information, not a misinformation. So I don't know, but
Yeah,
hey,
I
someone
agree.
asked you
I
here,
agree. But look,
right?
Lynn, let me add this. That goes both ways. That goes both ways, because look, these other channels, they should accept that we have an opinion, and we do that over on our channel. We can do and
Yeah,
talk about whatever we want on our channel. So you could argue, why is it that these bigger channels, or the guys that I talked about, why is it that they don't just leave us alone and stop talking about us? But what they do is, they don't talk about us on their live streams, maybe because they are afraid of what we got to say. But in the background, I tell you, there are emails going around. There are people sending out Google Drives telling them, upload everything you heard Alo de Winter said, upload everything you have on Andy Omar. I have a private investigator. I have people working on the ground. I will take legal
that's
action. I will bash it. That's what they do. I agree with you. I if they would do the same and
that's
say, look, Alo de Winter has his opinion, let him be, then we will be fine. And that's it. But that goes both ways. We
but that's
have a
gonna be
right.
okay if they don't like it telling anyone on live. It's okay, that's their channel, and if emailing someone is their way, it's okay. But if you guys are love to tell his on live, why not, right? You have your own channel, they have their own channel, and you know, I guess we have peace if like that. We can talk our
So
opinion and
you're basically saying that if everyone just leaves each other alone, then we would all get along. Well, that to to
not
to
really.
some
We do not
extent,
need to, but we
that is
don't.
true. But the funny thing is, we don't really have a problem with them talking about us. But they have a problem what we do on our channel as well. Our content is to
Are they
look at
going? Are
their
they going?
content.
Are they going to your channel and bash you there or trolling you there? That telling that, oh, what you did
No,
are
they
not
wouldn't do
right.
that
You
because
just give.
they don't. They don't do that because they know that they would lose the debate, and then they would basically give the audience it would bring a lot of attention to our channels, and that's one thing that they're absolutely afraid of. So they really
Okay.
dismiss us from the get-go. They don't even want to go there. Imagine this: if one of these guys would go over to Andy Omar's channel and he would do a live stream directly, one on one, with one of these guys, fucking 500 people would tune in. That would be on CNN Philippines, live streamed, like the presidential debates. Because look at the number that you have right now. That's 80 people, and it's you and me on the channel. Imagine it would be one of their guys, those guys here. It would be probably reach a number of maybe 15,000 people. It would go viral.
Someone asked
But
you
they don't
about
want
this
that.
one. So there's a comment here that I choose. They said, he said, show your face. You say you are open, but you hide behind the Joker. Do you want to
That
answer
is
with
one.
that before I'm gonna
Yeah, I
before
would.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that,
proceed to another questions?
yes, of course.
Okay,
Look,
okay.
that is one of the main arguments and main points that we often hear. People like me who are they say these are the faceless cowards, these are the faceless trolls. Show me your face, show me who you are, show me where you are, and so on and so forth. And to those people, I say I am like every other guy in the community. Like when you go to the movie house, and this might sound funny, you go to the movie house, you watch a movie, the people who watch the movie, they have an opinion about it. I'm not the film director. I'm not one of the actors in that movie. I'm the guy who sits in the front row, watches this, and has an opinion about it. There's nothing wrong with that. I do not need to show my face and give you my identity for one reason, because one guy in this community, his name is Big E, and he really summed it up very nicely. He had me on the show a couple of weeks ago. He gave me the opportunity to speak my mind. You know what happened a day later? He was threatened. People texted him and said, "We will come for you. You are associating with hate. You are associating with Out of the Winter. We will come after your family. We will kick your ass. We will beat you down," and so on and so forth. He then later came on a show and said, all these guys out there who protect their anonymity online are doing the right thing, because we have reached a point where you cannot have an opinion anymore without risking a backlash that people will threaten you and come after you and come after your family for no other reason than speaking your mind and having an opinion. If you go to my channel, All of the Winter, you'll see that I have a quote on there from Oscar Wilde. It says, "Give a man a mask and he will tell you the truth." And I believe that at least some of you guys might understand what I am trying to say here. Because at the end of the day, it is irrelevant who I am, because it is about what I say, the points that I raise, if those are valid or not. But if you don't want to
Uh,
do that, of course, you're going to attack me as a person. Oh, he's just a coward. He's just a troll. He's not showing his face. What difference would it make? To show my face, because in 50, 60, 70% of the cases, people would try to find out who is he. We will go after him, we will try to bring him down. And why would they do that? Because they do not like what I say. Therefore, I tell everyone out there, if you want to speak the truth, if you want to have an opinion, do everything you can to protect your identity and who you are, because we are dealing with again with fucking low lives in this community that would go at great length to harass you and do everything they could that you shut up, because they are afraid to lose their income on YouTube. That's my answer to that.
Okay, so why do you feel it's okay to involve innocent family members and work colleague of your enemies in your trolling?
Well, you have to look at the different examples, or maybe you can ask that person, can you bring or can you name an example? And I could then address that specifically, because I hear that a lot. Well, but let me get back to the other. Let me get back to the example that I mentioned. There was a guy. We did some jokes. We had fun. We talked about that guy. He's an Australian-based vlogger, and he didn't like it, and he totally overreacted, and he told his subs, and he has thousands of subs. He told his subs, find the guy, find the kids, find the family, find the wives, and harass the shit out of them. We have it on tape. We have these videos, and they are well known in our uh, part of the community. We have those videos and many others. So we then decided we will give you a dose of your own medicine. And that's how I'm going to answer this question generally. We will give you a dose of your own medicine. If you believe you have to go that far to involve our families and kids and employers and whatever, just because you do not like what we say, we are going to show you how it feels like when we will do the same to you. You will then realize, because most people, they don't realize when they come out with statements like that, you will then realize that that is something that might stop you from doing what you do. I would answer that question like that. And look, I honestly tell you, I believe in following statement: to torture the torturer, to the abuse the abuser, is always a good thing in my book. So it is true that I have chosen methods in the past that might be very, for some, very questionable and rather controversial. But I stand by that, and I just have to live with that. That people may say the methods of Out of the Winter are not something that I would condone, up to the point that I had to distance myself from my co-host and clarify that my co-hosts don't condone that. It's a small circle of people who are willing to do this, and I absolutely 100% agree. If somebody is a criminal, an e-scammer, or whatever, then I think it is justified to launch a counterattack and do whatever it takes to teach that person a lesson. And that might be something that people might not agree with, but then again, we will never agree on all of the issues and the methods. That's how I
Yeah,
would answer
because
that
for
question.
me, because for me, on my opinion, no bash or no hates to anybody, but I don't like if the family will gonna be involved, the mother, the kids, because they are out of this work. Like if the person do mistake, family are not uh um are not include, or they don't
Shouldn't be
deserve it, they
included in
don't
the
deserve to.
attacks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree with
so
that.
i
I
don't
agree with
i
that.
don't
But
really agree with
I
that. I don't like person that if someone who do a mistake to other and they involve the family, the mother, the kids, even they are innocent, that's really no good. That's below the belt. Like if
it
you
is
want to hit that
absolutely.
person, okay.
I
If you
agree.
hit that
I
person, okay,
absolutely agree
that
with that.
that involving the mother, kids are
Yeah.
innocent, guys, okay,
Let me
that's
let me
not.
let me let me just tell you, Raynalyn, I absolutely agree with
Yeah,
that. But I
yeah,
believe that you will agree to following statement as well. If they do not want us to talk about this and do this and give them a dose of their own medicine, then I believe you will agree that they should not bring in family and kids in the first place. Because just last week, somebody went on the internet and said, I am going to do this and that to this and that wife. And then they forget it. And then we come on a show and say, you know what? We might go after your family. And that really scares them. And then they cry foul and say, oh, the winter
Mm.
is coming after family, way after they made family and kids the topic. And they always forget that. They point at us, oh, they are the bad guys, but they themselves are the ones who started it. And now you could say, yeah, you know what? It's immature. It's the blame game. Who started it first? It's kindergarten and stuff like that. That might be a valid point. But at the end of the day, we decide how we are going to deal with these guys. And I tell you again, this might be something that we might not agree with is family is fair game if they bring in the family. If they say, I'm coming after your wife, then we will go after them too. The difference is they can't get to us, they can't pull it off, but we can. That's the only difference. And because we succeed in that, and then they back down, they then cry foul and they forget. And then you know what they say? I didn't mean it. I was just mad. I was just like, mainit ang ulo. I just said it in the heat of the moment, and then they want nothing to do with it anymore. And that's what's going on. And you know what? I don't do that. I don't do that. I fight fire with
Yeah.
fire. And you know, I think that I think it's the right way. Because these guys, you cannot make them back down with nice words. You cannot tell them, yeah, we will call him out, we will make fun of them. No, you can't do that. You have to hit them hard with a fucking jackhammer right into their fucking boy mouth that they realize
Not their,
what time it
not
is.
include
That's
the
what this is all
family,
about.
not include the family, not include the kids. If they are innocent, please leave them alone. But hey, I'm going to ask you a last questions before I
Sure.
end this live. I enjoy talking with you guys. I enjoy talking with you. You're the one who only make my mouth shut because you're so talkative. But anyway, I'm going to ask you: do you ever forgive and forget? It's already 2023. How about we're just gonna show love, love, love?
No, I don't. Usually not.
You don't.
I do not. Look, I what I do is even look. Look. I would put it this way. It's one of the policies of me and my guys that if we defeat somebody and the person is on the floor, that's when we start kicking even harder. That's what we stand for. And again, that's something
But
that
we
many people might not agree, but we believe that's the only way to deal with them. If somebody walks away from it and says, we don't want nothing to do with it anymore, we kick even more harder. And the inner circle of my supporters 100% support that over on my channel. By the way, you should tell everybody out there, but maybe you won't, to go over to my channel, All of the Winter and Sub, because if you want more live streams like this, you found the home, ladies and gentlemen.
So, guys, if you wanna know more about Alo the Winter, feel free to follow his channel. Maybe someone can drop his link. I'm going to wait. I'm going to drop your link in the description below. Then yes, you guys can continue doing that thing, but Alo, don't involve the family, the friends, and I mean not the friends, but the family and everything. Especially kids. Kids are not. I mean, I'm not
You will not
trying
be
to
able
stop
to
you.
find any Lynn, you will not be able to find any case where one of them would step forward and say, look, Alo has threatened me, Alo has said this and that, because they're simply not. It is taken out of context. It's an image that they have given me to smear my name, and I use that image to turn it around and say, okay, if you want to make me the bad guy, then I would just own it and use that because I see it's very effective at the end. But you will not find any sound bites whatsoever where we specifically or I specifically did something like that. We have contacted people, but that is very, very seldom. But again, all options are on the table, and I stand by that. So don't get confused or be misled by the people who don't like what I just said, because look, it's really not like that. You have to listen to both sides, and I agree. Leave the family
Of
out.
course, of course.
Leave the
Yeah,
family
leave the
out.
family
Leave the
out.
kids
And
out.
hey,
Don't do anything that I will sign that all day long. I absolutely there is no. I have no different opinion about that. But do not cry foul after you brought in the wives and the family and the kids, do not cry foul when we do the same to you, because we never start something like this. We would never do such a thing. But we have people in the chat right now. They said, "Oh, that guy, he is abusing his kids. This guy is sleeping with his sister, and so on and so forth." And it happens all the time, and people forget that. If you don't want to be treated like this, don't do it to others. Don't do it to us. That's what I say. There is no, there is no. I'm not disagreeing with what you say. Leave the family out, leave the kids out. I can sign
Yes.
that anyway.
Not just
But the
only
thing is,
not just only
stick to it.
to, I mean, I'm talking in general. Guys, don't leave the family, the mother, the kids. It because, that's being disrespectful. Like that's really too much. That's too much. They are not involved to this
Yeah,
work, if you're just going to hit the bloggers, okay, cuz
yeah, yeah,
that's our
yeah,
job, but
yeah.
including the family, the kids, especially the kids, guys, please, they are innocent, don't do that. Okay, so
Even
Alo,
do
thank you
you
for
wanna look? Listen, do you wanna hear one of these threats against me and my family? You go over to Alumanotti and then you listen to it. There was a guy on there threatening sexual violence against me, my
but
family, for like 30 minutes. And those
but
guys,
how
those
they
are the
but
guys.
how
Yeah.
but how they can treat your family? You are very like mysterious. No one know you, no one see you.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it better, because if they would know, they would do it. But they try to. They try to. And that's the
How
intention
they can
that is
try
very
to?
clear, to hurt family members. That's what they want to do. And then they cry foul if we talk about it and turn the tables around. That's what this is all about. We never start, but we end it at our terms. That's the difference. We never start any trouble, but we will end it. And then people say, okay, that's the same. They think that there is some sort of equivalency in this, and there is really not. We are not the criminals. You will never find any court documents about us, about the people that I call friends, my co-hosts, because people said, that guy is beating his woman, and the other guy, he is a criminal. But you will never find any court documents that would back that up. They, on the other hand, we have those court documents. Just go over to my channel, Bama court documents, read through it, and you will find the truth. If you are interested in the truth, go there, check it out, come to your own conclusions. But again, we can agree on that. Leave the families and kids alone. I think that is a good statement. I agree.
Yeah, don't. And hey, I enjoy talking with you, and I'm sure the guys are enjoying too. And yeah, I hate to say bye bye it because there's still 74 people are watching right now. But hey, this before I'm going to end, I just want to say something. Like for me, this is my opinion. Okay, as a Filipina, and I'm not brainwashing anyone, but for me is if you don't like other, because for me, I have some vloggers that I don't like. I don't give thumbs up. I don't dislike as well. I didn't even watch the videos because for me, as long as he give me they're leaving me alone, I'm gonna leave them alone. So it's gonna be good, like mind your own business, right?
When will
But
you have
hey,
Andy Omar on the channel, by the way?
maybe next time, it because it's time. I hate to say bye bye, guys, it because there's 77 people are here, but I need to leave it because I'm gonna leaving to Davao. I need to bring my daughter to Davao. So
Okay, it
yeah,
was a
again,
pleasure to be at the panel here. I really had fun, and I thank you and thank the
yeah,
guys in
I'm
the chat.
having fun. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I guess they're having fun and I'm having fun as well. So thank you for
thank you very much.
having
Yeah,
here, and thank you for being so game answering all the messages, all the questions that
no
I
problem.
asked. So again, bye bye guys, and we'll see you next time. So guys,
Thank you very much.
if you wanna talk more to Alo, I put the link in the comment section below, and all you need to do is click it, and that link will gonna bring you to his channel. So for now, I'm gonna say bye bye, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I'm gonna release another vlog. So see you tomorrow to my premiere. Bye bye.